I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now, we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Situation rapidly spiraling out of control in northern Syria. 1 week since President Trump ordered U.S. forces out of that region, effectively abandoning America's allies in the fight against ISIS. This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town. The Kurds who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS. Now, horrific reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed fighters on those very allies.
Still think the news is real? Do you think this news is real? Do you still not think that the news's main goal is to bring you sorrow and is to twist you up and to work you up into a frenzy about anything and anything at any given time? That first clip was the CIA getting caught using Project Mockingbird to infiltrate the news with the sole purpose of using it to manipulate the public. Now, do you think they've gotten better at that or worse than that over the last 40 years? Do you think Alyssa Milano knows what she's saying here is fake? Or do you think she really believes she just saw a horrifying video of a mom in Syria crying over her dead child's body? Wake up, man. It's all a show. It's all fake. I'll show it because the kid's clearly not dead. And this is absolutely a show being put on to ruin your day. So you can see Alyssa Milano posting that and then find the video, watch it, get really sad, and get angry that Trump is pulling troops out of the Middle East. People are warmongers. They don't give two fucking shits about the Kurds, the Turks, the people in Syria, anyone, anywhere over there. And say, oh, we abandoned the Kurds. They fought next to us. The Kurds have been fighting this fight for hundreds of years. And if you're saying that we're the difference between them getting slaughtered, if they don't know how to fight yet in 10 years of us teaching them and arming them, then sorry, then there's nothing you can do because we can't stay over there forever. All right. And ISIS, you want to know what ISIS is? That's when Obama, quote unquote, pulled troops out of Iraq. And what did they do when they usually are supposed to destroy their weapons whenever they pull out of a place? They left them there this time, and ISIS armed itself. Right? So he created ISIS on purpose. He's even on camera saying in the very beginning that he was arming ISIS.
So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
And it's all political theater. Everything, all of this is political theater. When he put us in Syria in the first place, he cited this chemical attack by the Assad. You know, the same thing that happened last year when Donald Trump said he was going to take the troops out. What happens? Oh, a chemical weapons attack up. And then everyone was mad that he was going to pull out, so he had to stay in. And that's what got us there in the first place. Just like this girl with the incubator baby story where Bush said that and used it to justify going into Iraq the first time. I mean, here's the same MO. Oh, he did a chemical gas attack. Now we have to go into there. It's people attacking each other and doing horrible shit all over the world all the time. How do you pick which ones you're just going to miraculously go into? And here's a nun who came out at that time swearing that it was fake.
I was in Damascus and not very far. We were, just nearby the hotel where the Commission of Inquiry for Chemical Weapons has just arrived. So from this to the Abbasin Square and to Jobar more than 2 kilometers. How is it possible, for a chemical weapon to be blown up and not to have any smell, not to have anything? Second, everybody, began to ask this terrible question. How is it possible that in a neighborhood like Jobar or like Ghouta al-Sharqiyya, where you have a conflict, deadly conflict, running on since months, it is, in the frame of the big Damascus battle. Those neighborhoods, they barely have any civilians. Why? Because they are destroyed. Okay, and if they are not destroyed, the civilians, especially with the beginning of the counterattack of the army, because the army had counterattacks, I think the 21st or the 20th. We don't know why and how you had so many civilians in one place. Second, how is it possible in vacation and in such a frame where families are scattered, barely you have civilians living there? How is it possible that you have so many children together? This is, scary. So did they gather them? Why? And you see them all together, and we ask for an inquiry. Why? Because we want to know who gathered those children and who killed them.
When dictators commit atrocities, they depend upon the world to look the other way until those horrifying pictures fade from memory. But these things happened. The facts cannot be denied.
Kids in incubators, and they were thrown out of the incubators so that Kuwait could be systematically dismantled.
The question now is what the United States of America and the international community is prepared to do about it. Because what happened to those people, to those children, is not only a violation of international law, it's also a danger to our security.
This is what they do. They tug at your emotions and they get you to agree. They get you to want to do this. This is how we got it in the first place. It wasn't just 9/11. Right after that, they bombarded us with hit pieces on Saddam Hussein and how his kids used to feed people to the tigers and watch it and laugh, and how they used to pick people out of school books, women, and have them brought to the palace and then rape them just for fun. How barbaric they were. And, I'm not saying they weren't barbaric. I'm not saying those things aren't true. I have no idea if they're true. After watching all this stuff, who the fuck knows what's true anymore? But they built Saddam Hussein up in the 70s and 80s. They built the Taliban. They armed the Taliban against the Russians. Just like Obama built up Syria. This is what they build them up, and then they're the bad guy. They create this whole system, and then they could fight them now, and no one remembers anything because it's in and out of the news like a blip. And the only things that are in the news are these fluff pieces that they've made for everyone to twist them whichever way they want. Now, note this lady. Note not just what she's saying. Note the piano in the background. That's an emotional psyop in itself. Music sets your mood, right? That's why every new song that comes out is emotional. And they all sound like they're going to cry like a bunch of little girls. It's pathetic. But every freaking thing. That's why The Voice is on 2 times a week. That's why American Idol is on 2 times a week. That's why everywhere you go, it's just emotional music playing in the supermarket, playing in your car, playing on TV. It just sets your subconscious into a certain mood. They want you to be emotionally unstable right now because their world is coming apart. And finally, everyone is paying attention. That's why things like this are coming out. Now, listen to her talk right here, okay? That's heartbreaking, right? Now, look at the kid. The kid blinks while she's holding him. That kid's drugged or was just told to play dead. Zoom in a little more. Here, you can watch her blink. Let's just go in slow motion just one more time. Well, in 2012, Congress passed the Smith-Mundt Act, which allows the United States to prepare propaganda pieces for foreign countries, which can then be filtered right back to the United States, or who's kidding who? They just put it right out to the United States. But they're allowed via this act to do that through the press, publications, radio, motion pictures, the internet, and other information media, including social media, and through information centers and instructors. News propaganda is 100% legal in the United States thanks to the Obama administration. All right, so it doesn't matter if Trump was keeping the troops in Syria, then Alyssa Milano would be talking about how sad it is that we're warmongering in the Middle East, and it would probably be that same lady with the same kid filming a piece on how we killed them, and now they're Turks. It's all fake. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, oh my God, how could he do this? But meanwhile, back in April, she was saying to pull our troops out of Syria. Or ABC here, acting like, oh my God, all these deaths are on Trump's hands. He causing a genocide. Trump genocide is trending. Yeah, that's trending. Oh, but expose CNN, which has 150,000 more tweets than all the things in front of it. No, that can't crack the top 10. You understand? They create the trends. They create what people are talking about. They create what you see above what you don't see. And they're even showing you live footage of them being slaughtered on the battlefield. Let's put this next to this show from back in 2017.
The Kurds who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS. Now, horrific reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed fighters on those very allies.
Oh my God. Well, it seems now that Syria is actually located in Kentucky. But it's okay. They took it down right away. Yeah, right after the entire internet blew them up over it, because that's the only way they'd ever take anything down. And when they do, they put a 2-line apology in the info box of one of their next videos. It has this guy standing in a graveyard, which is a visual psyop to your subconscious, just like the music was. All these things count, and they know it. This is all formulaic. Once you know, it's not even that hard to follow once you start knowing what to look for. But it's just another hit piece. Up on to the next one, because that's it. This is go time. Last 12 months before the election now. This is going to get worse and worse and worse. Just you wait. And that's all they have to do. And this will go away. They just have to take it down. A quick apology. They can say, oh, this was a mistake. Oh, we didn't know. Don't let them fool you. They knew exactly what they were doing. If you put these two together, you can see that they clearly filtered the light to make it more realistically look like a war scene. And then they crop out the people. See all these people in the original video? Who you can see all their heads. You can even see them holding their cell phones. Yeah, well, they're miraculously cropped out of the ABC video, which is darkened to make it look like an actual war. Right? The things we see on the news are emotional psyops. When you see them steering you one way in the news, all you know is that they're trying to steer you away from anything. The only certain you can ever know when you see one of these news stories is that what they're saying is not true. That's it. That's what they do. They can take anything they want and tug at your emotions. And now you see it's been legal since 2012. And you can see in the clip from 1975 that legal or not, they were infiltrating the news to do it anyway. And who's the news run by? It's owned by 6 parent companies. I think there might have been just a merger where now it's 5. But they're at least owned by 6 parent companies. You don't even have to infiltrate all that much to have complete control over them, to use them as vehicles to do whatever you want. And right now, surprise, surprise, they want the first non-politician president the fuck out of office. Oh, now there's a second whistleblower that knows what Trump said to Ukraine. Yeah, genius, we all know. He released the fucking transcripts. Holy crap, man. They're not mad that Joe Biden used his power to enrich his family over there. Super freaking shady and illegal. Like the number one thing people talk about when they talk about illegal dealings in the history of politics worldwide. No, they're mad apparently that President Trump talked to their leader about it. Isn't that what we elected him to do? Isn't this not the guy we elected to run the country and deal with other world leaders? Every time he meets with one, it's the end of the fucking world. Oh my God, look what he's doing with China, and then he went into the Forbidden City. Holy crap, he's with China. Oh my God, he met with Putin. He's a Russian agent. Oh my God, he met with Netanyahu. He's being controlled by Israel. Holy crap, he had a phone conversation with the Ukraine. We got to impeach him now. Wake up, man. And Trump, they tried to stop him from doing a rally in his own freaking country in Minnesota. And the way they did that was saying, oh, well, now you have to pay $500,000 for security. And the cops can't dress up in uniform. Even though with Obama, they demanded that they dress up in uniform. But no. But so they put that up. They strong-armed them. And then all these nice people that went to this rally, they got to deal with psycho protesters. A huge protest that was organized outside. And oh, guess who just happened to be caught there? Ilhan freaking Omar and her boyfriend. And at first I had just seen Ilhan Omar and said, all right, you know, that does look exactly like her, but it's just her eyes.
The eyes, Chico. They never lied.
No, you're right, Tony, but, you know, without the full face, you can't be for sure. But then the guy right next to her takes his mask down and is clearly her boyfriend. And they're right together, and they're the same height difference. So Ilhan Omar was actually at a violent protest to Trump, her president, where she actually does have a voice on the floor of Congress. A voice those people protesting with her would freaking kill for. This is despicable. I mean, this is absolutely treasonous. Not to mention that she dismisses 9/11 like it was nothing. Married her freaking brother, which is fraud. And when asked if she supports Al-Qaeda, who laughed and wouldn't even answer the question. And you still believe, oh, they don't like Trump because he's a racist or he's controlled. You kidding me? This country was one step away from finally being taken from us, and this man stopped it, at least temporarily. And if we don't wake up, if we don't wake up everyone, it could still happen. All right? This is what people mean when they say the news is fake. They mean Project Mockingbird. They mean the Smith-Mundt Act. They mean that they literally put on live action shows and pre-record things and manipulate things to twist you up into a frenzy. Every morning, that is their job, even down to the local news. You watch the local news like, hey, 5 dead in Central Park today. All right, did anything good happen? Every single night, man stabbed by the subway last night. It's just to ruin your night and just put you in a bad mood. I haven't watched the news in a freaking decade. That's all it is to keep you upset at the very least, or to make you upset about anything specific that they want you to be radicalized about. You've been radicalized. This is how it happens. You guys are screaming online about Trump. You're going out and marching about Trump. You've been radicalized by the very people responsible for all the things you claim to hate. So keep your eyes open, because this is going to keep happening. And now that you know what to look for, you're going to catch it left, right, and sideways. Where we go one, we go all.
Exactly. Right. And that's exactly what I hear. What Yamiche just said is what I hear from all the Trump supporters that I talk to who were Trump voters and are still Trump supporters. They go, yeah, you guys are going crazy. He's doing, what are you so surprised about? He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job, control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
The impeachment stuff, there's new developments every day, more shoes drop, and it's like, there's just nothing we can do. If Zucker wants impeachment every single day to be the top story. That's what he wants. Yeah, he wants impeachment. So above all else, honestly. Above all else.
Elizabeth Warren is saying that we should break up Google. And like, I love her, but she's very misguided. Like, that will not make it better. It'll make it worse, because now all these smaller companies who don't have the same resources that we do will be charged with preventing the next Trump situation. It's like a small company cannot do it.
Well, this whistleblower is alleging to have uncovered what she described as methods of suppression being used by Facebook, tools that would deboost the traffic of accounts considered to be of a conservative leaning, meaning that their followers wouldn't receive notifications whenever these pages, these accounts, update their profiles. In some cases, content was allegedly removed without even letting the users know. Now, this insider, who formerly worked in the intellectual property department of Facebook, just stumbled across these goings-on, she said, when she noticed some unusual goings-on with some accounts.
First, I was wondering whether this is something that I had, a couple working theories. I was like, maybe this is an independent versus mainstream thing. Maybe independent figures on the left are experiencing the same kind of deboosting. But I didn't see that. I looked at the Young Turks page. I looked at Colin Kaepernick's page. None of them had received the same deboost.
I have several businesses, but the Resistance is a really good group of people that's spread throughout the country, probably throughout the world. I mean, it's just it's just what I enjoy spending my time doing. And of course we get paid, Of course those higher ups pay us.
So you're paid for this? It's not just like something you do because you love a country?
Yeah, I mean, people pay us. They want us to help sow the division and to take over Trump's Twitter feed. When he makes a post, they want our tweets to be up there. They don't want other people to, like Trump supporters, to be seen in that case.